Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. This is Officer Noah here at IUIC New Jersey. To my left, I have
Officer Ezra.
So today's topic, okay, so remember, we try to keep things basic here. And a lot of the times people come into the body not having a full understanding of what God thinks or how he feels, what he ordained to be right against wrong. So today's topic is mother or murderer. All right, we're dealing with abortion today. As y'all know, recently you had the overturning of Roe v. Wade. There's been an uproar throughout the United States about this overturning issue. And believe it or not, women are angry, not so much that the law was overturned, because there's many states that are still going to okay it, right? There's safe haven states, but they're more upset that the government is not giving them a pat on the back and giving them the green light to go ahead and abort their children. You understand? So today, let's get into the topic. We're going to go a little bit into the history of how we find abortion in the Bible, and is life beginning at the womb or not? All right, let's find out. So let me get the definition of diva first. Let's start there.
Diva.
Blow it up a little bit. I don't want the opera. I want the self-important person.
Diva, a self-important person who is temperamental and difficult to please, typically used of a woman.
So it's a person who believes that they're better than everyone else, that they're better than their man, better than their husband, better than their boyfriend. Okay, you can't really tell them nothing. They think that their ish don't stink, right? A diva sees herself as a god, right, or a goddess. Okay, they believe that the world revolves around them, and this is the mentality of a lot. I'm not saying all, but a lot of our black women and Hispanic women today. They hold themselves to this high esteem as if they're always right and they can never be wrong. Now, let me get the etymology of the word. Okay, so read that for me.
Diva, God, divinity, good spirit in Hindu religion. From Sanskrit, diva, a god, as opposed to Ashur's, wicked spirit.
Okay, so this is where they get it from, that the god or the goddess, okay? They believe that they're right. No one can tell them wrong. So what's the mentality like with our sisters today, right? If they can't live their life the way they feel like it, then they're going to always fight against it. Fight against you for trying to correct them, fight against you for trying to show them a better way, right?
Lack of accountability.
Right, a lack of accountability, perfectly said. So this is the mentality and the mindset of diva. So when you just Google diva, all right, y'all going to see a whole bunch of black women, very proud, very haughty, dressed very provocatively, and as if you can't tell them anything, right? So let's get a bit into the scripts, right? Let's get into some of the history here that happened with Israel sacrificing their children. That's what abortion is a sacrifice. Let's get first Jeremiah 7:31.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7 and verse 31. And they have built the high places of Tophet, which is in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to burn their sons and their daughters in the fire, which I commanded them not, neither came it into my heart.
Right, so the Lord never commanded that we sacrifice children. The Lord never ordained for the children of Israel to sacrifice their children. Now, people think they slick, right? They try to justify, well, look what God told Abraham. Test. Look what God told Abraham with Isaac. And that was just a test of faith. God never sacrificed Isaac. You understand? But people try to find a loophole in the scriptures to justify themselves, right? So here it said God did not command them to put their sons and daughters through the fire, right? Jeremiah 19:6. So we're just going to go a few scriptures into history real quick.
Jeremiah chapter 19 and verse 6. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter.
So that valley where they would sacrifice their children became the valley of slaughter. Became the valley of slaughter. And what is slaughter? What's another word for slaughter? Murder. When you slaughter anything, anyone, an animal, a person, guess what? That is considered murder. Okay? And the people at this time were sacrificing to false gods. And in their sacrifice, they were murdering or slaughtering their children. There's no difference today. If you go to a Planned Parenthood, there's no difference today as to murder or abortion. They're the one and the same thing. Okay? One is just masked by rights, women's rights. Okay? And the other is plain in the Bible. The Bible speaks plainly. This is slaughter or murder. Okay? Now, let's continue on. Let's get to 2 Kings 23 and 10.
Second Kings chapter 23 and verse 10. And he defiled Tophet, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnom, that no man might take his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Molech.
Right. So this was a common practice. All right. Here, Josiah was making sure that King Josiah was making sure that we wasn't continuing in the folly of Israel. All right. Judah started sacrificing their children, following after the gods that the northern kingdom of Israel were sacrificing to. Right. So Josiah here, he was like, nah, we got to put a stop to this. Right. Because we going all the way off, right? Our people had more of a common sense or a morality check based on what God had stated, right, in his scriptures. Go on to, where had you last? Ezekiel 20, verse 23. Ezekiel 20 and 23. So what we're seeing is that throughout the scriptures, there's actually been a lot of discussion about or history regarding ritual sacrifice to pagan gods, and that sacrifice was our children, and today is the same thing. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 20 verse 23. I lifted up mine hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I would scatter them among the heathen and disperse them through the countries.
Come on.
Because they had not executed my judgments, but had despised my statutes and had polluted my Sabbaths, and their eyes were after their fathers' idols.
So their eyes, meaning we went after the idols of our fathers, of Molech, Chemosh, Ashtaroth. We went after the false gods of the nations, right? Read on.
Wherefore I gave them also statutes that were not good, and judgments whereby they should not live. And I polluted them in their own gifts.
What are those gifts? They're children. Come on.
In that they caused to pass through the fire all that openeth the womb.
All that openeth the womb, from their firstborns, secondborns, thirdborns, they would cause to pass through the fire unto Molech. That's child sacrifice, ritual sacrifice. Read.
That I make them desolate, to the end that they might know that I am the Lord.
Drop down to 31.
Verse 31. For when ye offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves.
So when you abort children, you pollute not just yourselves, come on,
with all your idols, even unto this day. And shall I be inquired of by you, O house of Israel?
So shall the Lord hear your prayer when you get pregnant and you don't know what to do because you was trying to be fast at the party? When you was a little, when you was 16, 17, and the boy got you pregnant because you wanted to get down, you ain't want to be considered the prude girl at school. Or when you was pregnant in college and you said, well, I still got my whole life ahead of me, and I don't want to ruin my life. Is God going to hear your prayer in that moment? What is your pastor saying about it? Is he agreeing that, hey, it's okay, you had your whole life ahead of you? I support your decision either way. Read on.
As I live, saith the Lord God, I will not be inquired of by you.
32.
And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
Right. So guess what? Israel was trying to have that the mentality of what? The heathen, of the nations, right? Because the Hamites, they would sacrifice their children to these false gods, right? The Canaanites would sacrifice to Molech. You had the Greeks sacrificing to Jupiter, Zeus, Aphrodite, right? But our people always loved the way of the heathen rather than the way of the Lord. Let's go on. Let's move on to where I had you last. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 28, verse 1. So we're going to take a little dive into the history. And you're going to see that throughout the scriptures, it's all pretty much saying the same thing, right? But we don't read as a people, so we're never really going to think that whatever your pastor, outside of what your pastor tells you, that it's okay, that it's your right, we're never really going to consider what God has to say about it. Read that.
2 Chronicles chapter 28, verse 1. Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. But he did not that which was right in the sight of the Lord, like David his father. For he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, and made also molten images for Balaam. Moreover,
Balaam is another name for the devil. Go ahead.
Moreover, he burnt incense in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burnt his children in the fire, after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord had cast out before the children of Israel.
Read.
He sacrificed also and burnt incense in the high places, and on the hills, and under every green tree.
Right. So he was sacrificing to these gods, but he killed his own children. He killed his sons and his daughters in the worship of a false god. Right. Let's go to 2 Kings 21 and 6.
Second Kings.
So this is King Manasseh now, all right, where you read in the Apocrypha the prayer of Manasseh, all right, where he repented from what he did and the Lord had mercy on him. So that means you have a chance to change, chance to repent, if you choose to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments and stop your sin, stop your abortions. Come on, read that.
2 Kings chapter 21, verse 6. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observed times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards.
And that's what our women do today. They look at their horoscope. They'll ask a damn palm reader down the block just to see if their life is going to be better with or without their child. You understand? They'll call their girlfriend, who's a damn witch herself, and they're going to consult with her and not seek the men of the Lord, not seek the truth out of the scriptures to see what she should or should not be doing in that moment. All right. This is why God has his laws in place to prevent unwanted pregnancies, to prevent children that come outside of the sanctity of marriage. That's why the laws are in place, so that when you actually keep the laws, do it the right way, guess what? The Lord is going to honor your family, and he's going to bless your children, right? Because children are a blessing from the Lord. Finish that.
He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger.
Right. So at this time, Manasseh, he wrought a lot of wickedness in the sight of the Lord and provoked him to anger. And for that reason, guess what? The children of Israel went into captivity in Babylon. And there, when we was in Babylon, we took on the customs of the Babylonians. So let's get to 1 Kings 11 and 7. Let's deal with Solomon now.
First Kings chapter 11 and verse 7. Then did Solomon build a high place for for Chemoth, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon.
Right. So Solomon, by him building these high places, building these places of worship to these false gods, guess what? He confounded the children of Israel and brought them into sin. That's why the kingdom had split, because Solomon would not listen to the Lord. The Lord tried to warn him twice previous to this verse, and he wouldn't hearken to him. So the kingdom of Israel split after Solomon. Is that it on that? Go to 2 Kings 17:17. And then, Simeon, I want the article. I'll tell you which one I want next. Just for 1 second. Go ahead, read that.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord.
So you see that? Divinations and enchantments. Divinations and enchantments. You got to understand that America uses divinations and enchantments. Okay, they're casting spells on a grand scale. That's why they call it broadcasting. All right, they allow politics to come into place to influence your thought process, and all that is pre-planned. Give me the article with the doctor.
Yeah, that's what media means.
Right.
Short for medium, which is the person who you go to that's going to cast these familiar spirits.
You got me, Simeon? Yes. Okay, scroll all the way up. Just let me see the title. Not down, up. Go ahead.
50 years, abortion history with Dr. Bernard Nathanson.
So Dr. Bernard Nathanson, he was the founder or the father of the term pro-choice or pro-life. Okay, go down. And he's an Edomite. Read that. Now, if you want an in-depth class, please check out Man Up Mondays with Captain Joel. He did an excellent study for this for a few hours. Get in-depth strategy, into this class. We only have a short period of time. Let me get a new mic, please. Come on. Read that.
Terry Beatley is the founder and president of the Hosea Initiative, a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to fulfilling a pledge that she made to the co-founder of NARAL, Dr. Bernard Nathanson, after his conversion to the pro-life cause. Author of What If We've Been Wrong? Keeping My Promises to America's Abortion King.
Abortion King. Damn. Go ahead.
Terry, a homeschool mom, travels the nation keeping her promise and is working on a feature film about Dr. Nathanson's legacy. From death to life to life in Christ, in Terry Beatley's words.
So this man set in play the mentality to deceive the masses. Give me Colossians 2:8 real quick. To deceive the masses, and then he wants to dedicate his life back to Christ after all the evil that he's done. Christ ain't dealing with that, man, regardless. But this is what quote-unquote Christians do. They justify mass murder in the name of God. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So philosophy is what? You have a choice to the baby in your womb. Okay, you have a choice whether or not you should kill them, whether or not they should live. When our foremothers were praying to the Lord to open up their womb, to give them children. All right, you see that with Samuel and Hannah. Yep. Let's go back to the article.
In a 2009 interview, I promised Dr. Bernard Nathanson that I would equip Americans, including pastors and legislators, with the truth about the 8-point propaganda strategy he used to deceive America into believing abortion is women's health care.
Okay, so you see that. Now, you have rallies going on throughout the United States, in Texas, in New York, about women's health, okay, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And not just there, also in South America. We're going to see videos on that in a little bit. But there was an 8-point strategy in which he deceived the masses of Black and Hispanic people. Come on. Go back. Scroll down. Scroll down, scroll down. Go to first right there.
First, Dr. Nathanson admitted that he and Naro knew to be true that abortion kills an existing human being.
So you see that he knew it to be true that abortion kills an existing, meaning a living being, an existing human being. Go ahead.
Therefore, they framed the debate around choice.
Therefore, they frame what?
The debate around choice.
Read.
This approach would pivot from advocating for legal homicide, knowing it was a baby and it was not the mother's body.
Go to number 2, second.
Second, Dr. Nathanson, with the help of a public relations firm, invented many slogans reflecting the message.
Stop. Hold on. As a public relations firm, letting you know that this is something that was just not with this man, but this was something that was sponsored by your government, the United States of America. Come on.
Reflecting the messaging, my body, my choice.
My body, my choice. We hear a lot of that these days, right? Come on.
Such slogans focus solely on the woman, completely ignoring and dehumanizing the unborn child.
And third, and then we'll stop there. Come on.
Third, Dr. Nathanson used the media.
What?
Used the media, which nursed on every word he spoke.
That's what you see today with the media propaganda today. First, it was COVID-19. That's all you heard for 2 years straight. And now all of a sudden you heard Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, for about 6, 7, 8 months straight. Now what's next? What's next? This is something that they've been pushing. Read on.
His authority grew as he became personally responsible for the death of 75,000 babies.
But he wanted to turn his life to Christ. Personally responsible for the death of 75,000 babies. Let me get that in Wisdom of Solomon 14. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14. Start at 23.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 23. For whilst they slew their children.
Start at 22. I'm sorry, 22.
Verse 22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of God.
So our people err, meaning they don't have an understanding in the knowledge of God. Come on.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance.
That great war of ignorance is the propaganda machine that you call the media today. The propaganda machine that you call pro-life or pro-choice. That's that great war of ignorance to let you think that you have a choice. And who is that war perpetuated by? Your politicians, right? Your abortion right activists, the LGBT community. What does the LGBT community have to do with you having a baby? When they can't produce life. Man and man can't produce life. Woman and woman can't produce life. So why are they in your movement? You got to ask yourself these questions. Read it again.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace.
So death is a plague. But when you abort your children, you call it peace because now you can go on and having your hot girl summer. Now you can go on and live your life. You can go get your degree.
Your rights.
And keep your woman's rights intact. But that baby had a right to life. But what about that child? What about that being? Is he not alive or she not alive? At conception, is she not? See, we're going to find out what God says about that later on in the class. But this is the great war of ignorance. This is the propaganda machine that we're dealing with. You understand? Read on.
For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices.
While they did what?
Slew their children in sacrifices. Or used secret ceremonies.
Secret ceremonies is when you would go to the back alley and get someone to get a rusty metal hanger to go in your vagina and take that child out piece by piece. When you get an abortion, you pulling out limbs, arms, legs, heads, torsos, piece by piece. And you do it in secret so that nobody knows. It's evil as hell. Now, guess what? You know what the other secret is? Plan B. Contraception. That's your other secret. Nobody knows. It's in your purse. Nobody has to know. It's your choice. Read it again.
For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites.
Revelings of strange rites. That's what you see with these rallies.
Yep.
These are revelings of strange rites, God says.
You know what's funny? The common thing is all the people that are for abortion, somehow they've already been born.
Right. So if their parents was like, well, the hell with this, I'm gonna do the YOLO. I'm only gonna live once, and the hell with you. So why are you fighting so hard to kill other children? The great war of ignorance. That's what you're in. You're in a box of ignorance, not even realizing that your choice is not even yours. It's been fed and implanted into your mind. This is why when you come into Christ, you understand, when you understand who you are and what you mean to God, guess what? You have to become a new creature, because the ways of this world is going to lead you to death. The wages of sin is death. Right? Come on. Let's go back now. Let me go back to matter of fact, give me Ezekiel 23:37 real quick. And then we're going to go into the video clips. Actually, no, I want the article on the 19 million abortions, the PDF. Read that.
Ezekiel 23, verse 37. That they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands. And with their idols they committed adultery, and have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire, to devour them.
Come on.
Moreover, this they have done unto me. They have defiled my sanctuary in the same day, and have profaned my Sabbaths.
So when you killing children, you doing that against God. Read.
For when they had slain their children to their idols, then they came.
Who's the idol today? You, Miss Diva. You the idol. You idolize yourself. Come on.
For when they had slain their children to their idols, then they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane.
You'll get a damn abortion on Saturday night and go to church on Sunday. Evil as hell. Evil as hell. Come on.
And lo, thus have they done in the midst of mine house.
That's evil. So let's go to the PDF that I had. Yes, sir. Go ahead. So it's policy report, the effects of abortion on the black community. Let's scroll down. I just want to get to one point here. We don't got to read everything. Just scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Right there. Stop. Read the abortion consumer.
The abortion.
Right on top. The header.
Okay. Blow it up. The abortion consumer. Disproportionately, the leading customer of the abortionist.
Leading consumer.
The leading consumer of the abortionist services is the African American female.
So you're the leading consumer.
According to the 2011 abortion surveillance report issued by the Center for Disease Control, black women make up 14% of the childbearing population, yet obtain 36.2% of reported abortions.
Damn. So 14% out of all the world population, right? But 36% out of that 14, 1/3. That's 1/3 of the world's abortions. Come on.
Black women have the highest abortion ratio in the country.
Damn.
With 474 abortions per 1,000 live births.
That's not a good statistic. You talking about over 47% of a death rate if you in the womb of a black woman. Come on.
Percentages at these levels illustrate that more than 19 million black babies have been aborted since 1973.
So 19 million black babies. So let's put that in perspective. Now give me the image of the give me the article of the countries by world population. 19 million is a lot of people in a span of about 40 or 50 years. Come on.
It's like 2/3 of Canada.
You got that article, countries by world population.
And that doesn't include if those children grow up and then have children of their own. That's just one generation.
Right.
That could quickly multiply into an entire nation.
Exactly. And that was just black. We didn't even get into the Hispanic women, Native Americans. We didn't get into all that yet. Countries by world population, the article. You need me to resend it? It's called nationsonline.org. You don't see that?
Mark the time.
I'm resending it to you right now. You check your Telegram. All right, so 19 million children have been aborted since the early 70s by our sisters, by our nation of people. Okay, let's read this. Countries of the world by population. Let's scroll down. Come on, keep going. Keep going. All right, so let's read this. Countries by population.
Okay, list of countries and territories by population size. Earth, at least 7.95 billion people.
Okay, so that's about almost 8 billion people on the earth. Let's go down. So you see here, China has 1.45 billion, India 1.4. Come on, scroll. Europe has almost 500 million people, 447 million. America has about 333 million people in its population. Scroll down, keep scrolling. You guys see the numbers, you're going to see the point. Come on. Keep going. Brazil, Bangladesh, Russia, Mexico. These are all nations. These are all countries. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. United Kingdom, South Africa, Italy. Come on. Iraq has 42 million people. Canada, 38 million people. Keep going. I just want to show the population of the earth, of the countries of the world. Okay, stop right there. 51. Go up. You got Cameroon with 27 million people, 912,000. Keep going down. Keep going down. Now you got North Korea. Hold on. You got North Korea with 25 million people, almost 26 million people. And that's a country that got nuclear armaments. Yep. You got Australia with 25 million people, right? You got Taiwan with 23 million. Keep going down. You got Sri Lanka with 21 million people. Mali. Hold on. Let's stop at Chile. Chile has 19,828,000,000 people. So we aborted more babies than the whole population of the country of Chile. We aborted more babies than the whole population of Romania.
You know what they call that? Genocide.
Genocide, exactly. Keep going down. Zambia, a whole nother country in Africa. 19 million. Syria. They got military warfare, right? Come on. We aborted out of one tribe over more people than Ecuador has as a population in 2022 at 17 million. The Netherlands, 17 million. Senegal, 17 million. Guatemala, 17. Cambodia, 15. Come on. Just keep scrolling. Just let the people get the point.
Olivia. Haiti. Now we're about to get to like double the population of people now.
So you see this? This is when you decide to kill your children, you are literally killing off nations. Nations. Israel, 9 million. And they rule the freaking world. They rule Hollywood. Come on.
Belarus.
More than United Arab Emirates. More than Austria. More than Switzerland. What about if all the people in Switzerland just died tomorrow?
Twice
over. Paraguay. Y'all get the point. Okay, y'all get the point. 19 million is a lot of people, more than small nations on the earth. First world nations on top of that. This is why it's a great war of ignorance. Against who? Against the Israelites. Who is the woman that donated? It was it Bill Gates' wife? She donated $275 million to Planned Parenthood.
Jeff Bezos' wife.
Jeff Bezos' wife. Yeah, she donated over almost over $250 million.
Yeah,
$245 to the destruction of the black and Hispanic babies. Can you give me the next image of the militaries of the world?
That shows you they all have like minds. Because you said Gates first.
Yeah.
But we already know about him, that he's been on that. His parents were a part of the abortion stuff from early on, Planned Parenthood. But it seems like all the world's richest Edomites, they're on the same page.
Right. You got that image for me? Yes, thank you. So these are the world's largest militaries. Countries with the largest total available active military manpower from 2021, just last year. China has 2 million people. India has 1.4 million. United States has 1.4 million, and that's the most powerful nation in the earth. North Korea, 1.3. Russia, 1 million. Pakistan, South Korea, and Iran. So we would have had more than most armies on the earth if we would have never aborted our children. We would have had a military as a nation of people, just out of one tribe, more than all the nations on the earth. You got to put this stuff into perspective, right? If there's a war of ignorance, then we're going to give you the truth. You got to put this stuff into perspective. We would have been the most powerful military on the face of the earth if we would have kept our children alive.
I think they know that because that's what Pharaoh tried to do in Exodus.
Right.
That was his whole reason.
That was his whole reason to kill off the children of Israel, right? That we wouldn't side with his enemies, right? So let's get into Lamentations 4 and verse 1. And then I want Job right after that. I think we're going to run out of time soon. 4 verse 1. Yes, sir.
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Even the sea monsters draw out the breasts and give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness.
Right, because what do ostriches do? Read on.
The tongue of the suckling child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them.
Right, an ostrich will stomp on their eggs, and they will not understand where they bury their eggs last, and they will break their eggs and kill off their own population. Let's go to Job now, 39:13. Let's get a little more on the ostrich, because the Lord is comparing our sisters to ostriches. Job 39:13.
Job chapter 39 and verse 13. Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because God has deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding.
So God is making an analogy of the ostrich to the women of Israel. He said he deprived the sisters of understanding, okay? Not understanding that these children are a gift from God. They're not a curse from God. When a lot of our sisters, when they get pregnant, they get fearful. They get, and that's because you're doing it out of order, right? If you wed before you get in that bed, guess what? It's going to be a happy, joyous occasion to have children. But if you do it outside of that, now you're going to get all afraid. You don't want your daddy or your mother to know in the house that you're pregnant and young. Okay, you're going to fear that you're not going to finish your education. That's going to ruin your life. And what life are you talking about is going to get ruined? You being a thought? You being a hoe, a jump off? After that party that you went to? What life you talking about here? That's not an honorable life. Is that it on that? Let's go to Isaiah 32, verse 5. So the great war of ignorance continues by your politicians. All right, you got your, what's that Puerto Rican Democratic woman? Osario Caso?
AOC?
AOC, yeah. You got women like that, Bernie Sanders, all the great politicians of the black woman, right? The Democratic Party. Isaiah 32, verse 5.
Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful.
So the liberals or the Democrats are considered vile. Come on.
For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy.
To practice what?
Hypocrisy.
To practice hypocrisy. They're going to tell you, hey, you got rights as a woman, right? But it's okay to kill your children. That's hypocrisy. That's what politicians do. Come on.
And to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the soul of the hungry. So
politics utter error against the Lord. Everything that politicians stand for has nothing to do with God. As a Christian, as a modern day Christian person, man or woman, because I've seen a lot of pastors say this is all wrong. They shouldn't be doing this.
They just need to stop.
That it's America. Everybody has a freedom of choice. Simple pastors that don't read the Bible. Read that verse again.
For the vile person will speak villainy.
Evil.
And his heart will work iniquity.
Come on.
To practice hypocrisy. And to utter error against the Lord. To make empty the soul of the hungry. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail.
And didn't we just read that the children were thirsty? He would cause them to fail. Why? Through his policy, he would enact a legalization of death. That's what we read with Dr. Bernard Nathanson. Yes. Read on.
The instruments also of the churl are evil.
His policies, his laws are evil, God says. Come on.
He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor.
To destroy who?
The poor.
Who's the poor? The children of Israel. Get that real quick. Let's just prove it in Isaiah 14:32, I believe. Isaiah 14:32, and let's go back. Who's the poor? Is it the poor trailer park trash that of the white race, of the Caucasian race, I'll say? Nope. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 32. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it.
Okay, so the poor is Zion. Let's go back to Isaiah 32 and 7.
The instruments of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
With what?
Lying words.
Lying words. Your politicians lie to you to make you think that it's okay, that what you're standing for is a good and righteous cause, which is your rights. Mm-hmm. That's what
my body, my choice.
My body, my choice. Eugenics movement is all about. Okay? Margaret Sanger and Planned Parenthood. That's what that's all about. Come on.
even when the needy speaketh right, but the liberal devises liberal things.
Even when the needy speaks right, when someone's trying to stand up to say this is wrong, this is absolutely horrible. Even this old white man reflected on his evil after killing 75,000 babies himself and was like, oh, no, this is wrong. Now he wants to try to make some kind of justification of his evil deeds as a Christian. Come on. Yes, sir.
But the liberal deviseth liberal things.
Those liberal things are your woman's rights, your pro-choice. Come on.
And by liberal things shall he stand.
Come on.
Rise up, ye women.
Who?
Ye women.
Come on.
That are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech.
So God is calling out to our sisters to take heed to what the Lord is trying to tell you. Take heed to what this class is saying, because what we're doing, we're just reading the Bible and bringing facts to the table. Come on. Next verse, verse 10.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come.
All right, so now let's go to the law real quick. Let's deal with the law. Let's get Exodus 21 first. Let's see where life starts at. And then I want those images of those women and the videos before we close out. I just want to get through these scriptures real quick and let you guys get a couple of visuals.
Exodus chapter 21, verse 22.
Come on.
If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay the judges as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life.
You shall give what?
Life for life.
Because life is in the womb. Life is at conception. If he intentionally tried to kill that child that was in your wife's womb, guess what? He had to die for that life. God has always made it clear where life begins. It's at conception. Let's go to Jeremiah 1 and 5. Jeremiah 1 verse 5.
Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5.
Come on.
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So before you were even put into your mother's womb, before you even a thought on the earth, guess what? The Lord already knew who your spirit was. Life begins at conception. Sirach 1:14.
Sirach chapter 1 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb.
In where?
The womb.
In the womb. The fear of God was created with the faithful in the womb. In the womb. Let's go to Psalms 127 verse 3. verse 3.
Psalms chapter 127 and verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord.
Children are an heritage of the Lord. They're a gift from God. Your children you have, real quick, get Ezekiel 16, 20, and 21. The children you have are of God. Who are you to say, to hell with you, God, to hell with what you think? I'm going to kill off your creation. That's evil as hell. Come on.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 21.
Uh-huh.
That thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them.
You did 20 and 21?
Verse 20.
Yep.
Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me,
The children you birth are of the Lord. You birth them so that they can serve the Lord. All we are as parents are disciplinary institutions for that child to raise up in the laws of God. Read on.
And these thou sacrifice unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter, that thou hast slain my children?
Is it a small matter to abort your children? No, God says that you killed his children, not your children, his children, not your body that God puts breath in every single day, his children. Let's go back. Psalms 128, verse 1. Psalms 128, verse 1.
127.
No, finish 127, 3 through 5, and then I want 128.
Psalms chapter 127, verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As the arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
Right. So we shouldn't be ashamed of our children, or our sisters shouldn't be ashamed of being pregnant if they're doing it the right way. Verse 128, verse 1.
Blessed is every one that feareth the Lord and walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Mm-hmm. Thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord.
See that? So our children will be like olive plants if you fear God. God will bless the womb. He'll open up the womb, right? He will give you a multitude of children if you fear God. It's a beautiful thing to have a family. So when you choose to abort, you choosing either death or life, family or freedom. Now, give me the videos for the rally in New York, and I want the images of the rally, the women rallying in New York. Go ahead.
I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling upset, and I'm feeling so hopeful because of the power of the people here today. And now with this decision that has come down, that is
pause real quick. Look at all the people. Look at the flag that they use to disrespect the Lord. But not only that, it's who? The LGBT community, who don't even care about having kids because they freaking lesbians. Go ahead, press play.
I think that's jealousy. If I can't have them.
Now, what do you see in the front? You see the Hispanic woman, the black women, and gay men. Come on, press play.
Criminalizing and demonizing women for exercising control over their own body. Our power right now is in the street.
Some gay Asian dude. I don't even know that's a dude or a woman. I can't even tell.
A history of standing up, a history of fighting back, and that's the only way that justice has been served.
Now, give me the video of the one from Latin America. Take off the disclaimer. Give video of the one on Latin America. Next. We're almost done. Go ahead. So protests taken across Latin America as pro-choice activists call for changes to abortion laws. Come on. Thousands of women took to the streets to express and mark International Safe Abortion Day. So Babylon's philosophy is worldwide. Come on.
Isn't that a contradiction? Safe abortion?
Some protesters and police clash in Mexico. Come on.
Safe murder.
4 of the 32 Mexican states allowed full and legal access to abortion. Come on. Take down the disclaimer real quick. It says it's a great step for all women because there are women who are raped. Come on. There are women who were put in jail for spontaneous abortion. Come on. She's talking about miscarriages. Anything, and more than anything, it is up to each one. Now, give me that, line up that article for me that deals with the reasons for abortion real quick, because she talked about rape. And this is something that all these rallies are proclaiming to be the just cause for rape.
It's not even 1%. It's not even half.
We're going to see. We're going to let the stats play. We're going to let the stats go. Yes, sir. I'm with you. You got it for me, Simeon? Let's go. Put it up. Scroll down. So real quick, it says reasons U.S. women have abortions, quantitative and qualitative perspectives. Scroll down. I just want to get to the statistical chart. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Come on. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay, table 2. Percentage of women reporting that specified reasons contributed to their decision to have an abortion between 2004 and 1987. Okay. So a lot of people would say, hey, having a baby would dramatically change my life. Look at that. In 2004, it didn't really change too much from 1987. Right? It would interfere in my education, 38%. Would interfere in my job or employment or my career. A lot of black women want to pursue a career. A lot of them end up as social workers. Have other children or dependents, right? So they don't want more family. They don't, although the Lord said it'll be a blessing. But let's go down to the point. Scroll down right there. Stop, 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 stop. You're moving too fast.
Right? Damn.
It says, blow up where it says victim of rape.
1.
Blow it up.
And that has not changed over the years.
Was a victim of rape. 1%. 1% of women that have an abortion was due to rape. Everything else was you trying to live your life. That's what the statistics say. Not me. That's what the stats say. This was recorded by your friendly neighborhood white man. Now show me the pictures of those women who were at this rally. Bring up the pictures for me. I want to leave the people with a nice visual. Bring up those photos. Blow it up.
Man.
Can you blow it up or no? Okay, no. That's fine. People can see it. It says, the lady with the white T-shirt says, I will aid and abet abortion. This is your friendly neighborhood white woman. The other lady to the right that says, abort the SCOTUS, says, safe and legal abortion for all. The one behind them says, keep abortion legal. Now here in the center, you look to the right, you see what's on her belly. Not yet a human, but she has a child in her hands, in her arms. And these are the people, she has a freaking family. But saying that 8-month-old pregnant child, the child that's in her belly right now, in her womb, is not although that thing is kicking her every damn night, is telling her what she's craving to eat. She can't sleep because the baby keep moving, says not yet a human.
I bet you if something were to happen to the child in her stomach, she would feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
Her emotion would be all over the place because she knows she just lost a living child.
Last scripture, Luke 16:15. We're going to close out with the word of God. Luke 16:15.
Is there adult abortions?
I don't know.
That should be a thing.
Luke 16:15. Last scripture. Got me? Luke 16:15. So we hope that you guys glean something out of this class. We're going to leave you with this scripture from the Messiah himself. All right. Don't buy into the BS. Don't buy into the politics. All right. Family is a gift from God. All right. If you do it the right way, Most High will bless you and your household. All right. Don't bite into the politics that and the Democrats and the Republicans, all that garbage. All right. Don't let them put that seed in your mind. Read this.
Luke chapter 16, verse 15. And he said unto them, ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knoweth your hearts.
So God knows your mind. God knows your heart. He said, you justify yourself before men. You rally and you march and you fight for your rights with the LGBT. Come on.
For that which is highly esteemed among men.
The hundreds of thousands of people marching in New York, marching in California, marching in Texas, marching in South America, Latin America, Mexico, Peru, Bolivia. For those hundreds of thousands or millions of people marching, read that part again.
For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God.
God hates that thing. So with that, this is IUIC New Jersey in the classroom. I'm Officer Noah to my left.
Officer Ezra.
And hopefully you glean something from today's class. We say, Shalom, Most High in Christ bless.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.